Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to give you a list of food that you should definitely have on hand in case of any sort of emergency. And I'm going to give you one item that you probably don't really think about too much. So let's get started. Right now we're living through a time where gas prices are through the roof. We're going through hyperinflation, and Russia has started a war with the Ukraine. We have a backlog of shipments on the coast. We have truckers that are slowing down. We have less and less items in the grocery store. And in times like this, we never really know what's going to be in stock at the grocery store or if our choices are going to be more and more limited. With all these things going on, this really makes you think about what you have in your house and if you're really prepared in case anything were to really happen. I personally never thought that we'd have a shutdown, and I never thought I'd see people hoarding food, and here we are. This is our new reality. So with that in mind, today we're going to talk about some of the items that you should definitely have as you prepare yourself for what may come. And what I mean by that is possible food shortages at the grocery store, maybe even a loss of your job, anything that could possibly go wrong. Are you prepared? Whatever it is that could happen, this video is really about what basic items should you have already in stock at your house so you're better prepared for whatever does happen. Now, I'm not going to say that you absolutely need a full basement of all of these items, nothing like that, but it's always good to be prepared just in case that you know what hits the fan. Simply put, I believe that we all need to be better prepared no matter what. And that's because in an absolute crisis, the only person that's going to protect you is you. So let's get started. I don't have any of these in any particular order, but the first one, let's go with sugar. The good thing about sugar is that it will last forever. Even if it gets hard, you can still scrape it off of itself and you can still use it. It's high in calories and it's used as a preservative. And the next one we're going to go with is salt. Salt, just like sugar, is used as a preservative. And even if your electric goes out, you can use it to help save some of the meat that you might have that could be going bad if it's refrigerated. Not only that, but salt is used to help if you have a sore throat or maybe putting basic mild wounds in salt water, things like that. So salt is an absolute must-have. An assortment of canned food items. Now, you don't have to have a bunch all at one time. You don't have to go out and just buy a bunch of stuff, but you can go and grocery shop and each week get a few extra cans of what you would normally eat. So comes down to an individual themselves, is that you know what you like, you know what you eat, you know what your family eats. So just start stocking up a little bit more on canned foods. Canned foods will last literally for years. But there are some items that might have a shorter shelf life, like anything acidic, tomatoes, fruits, things like that. And number 4, we have nuts. These are high in calories and in nutrients, and it's good to have a lot of nut butters around because they have quality proteins and fats in them. And jars of peanut butter can last up to 24 months if unopened. Number 5, we have pasta. Pasta is great to have around because it's loaded with carbs. Simple as that. And number 6, we have flour. In a sealed container, flour can last up to 8 months on the shelf. And with flour, with very other few ingredients, you'll be able to make your own bread. And as we know, bread is loaded with carbs, and that's what you need to survive. Number 7, we have canned or dried fruit. Now we know fruit is good for you, but fresh fruit is not going to last very long. So canned fruit or dried fruit will kind of give you what you need as far as fruit goes. And with it being canned, it's going to have a good shelf life. Number 8 on our list is actually, if I had to pick one of these items, this would absolutely be number 1 on my list of something you must have for this whole supply. And that is white rice. White rice in an oxygen-free container can last 25 to 30 years. It's cheap to buy and you can survive on white rice for a long period of time. White rice is full of carbs and it's one of the easiest things to really stock up on if you want to get started with this. Number 9, we have beans, and the cool thing about cans of beans is that you can open it up and eat it right away. You don't have to cook it or anything like that. Now, if you get dried beans can last up to 30 years on the shelf. So the only thing with that is you have to cook it, which is not really hard to do. You can always make a fire or what have you. But otherwise, beans, high in carbs, proteins, and nutrients. Number 10 is canned meat. Now, canned meat is really good to have around, especially if something happens and your electric goes out and all of your meat's going to spoil because you have it in the freezer or the refrigerator. So canned meat is awesome. because it will last for years on the shelf. Number 11 is probably one of my favorites, and it's because it has to do with the garden, and that is seeds. Have your own seeds just in case anything happens, and you can grow your own food. Of course, it's going to be a seasonal sort of thing, but if you think ahead, you can grow things that you're able to jar or freeze or what have you. So it does have a little bit of forethought that needs to be taken place, but seeds. And number 12, which is going to be the last one, and the one that most people don't really think about, and that's pet food. If you have pets, they are part of your family, and you want them to be okay as well if anything happens. So stock up on cans of pet food and things that are not going to deteriorate over time and have a good shelf life. Remember that your pets depend on you for you to take care of them just as you take care of yourself. So they're a part of your family. Make sure you do that. And that is it for the video. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.